Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Brad Gotcho. I'm the Lower Paxton Township Manager, and in typical fashion, I'm going to give a brief summary of tonight's agenda before the board begins business, particularly for the benefit of those who may be watching at home this evening on television. Under new business on the agenda, the board will take up Resolution 21-11, which authorizes the submission of a PA watershed restoration and protection program grant with the Commonwealth Financing Authority. Next on the agenda is Resolution 21-12, which approves of the destruction of specific records. And then the board will jump into subdivision and land development business, which this evening has a number of items, including the preliminary and final subdivision plan for Janet Smith on Parkway East, the declaration of consolidation of previously subdivided lots for Scott Appel on Moline Drive, and also Phase 9C of Stray Winds Farm, and that is a final subdivision plan. With all that said, members of the board are seated and prepared to conduct business. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Gottschall. We'll call this meeting of the Lower Paxton Township Board of Supervisors to order. I'd like to ask everyone to please rise, and Supervisor Judd will lead us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We will now move to approval of minutes, and this would be from the meeting of February 16th, 2021. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we approve the minutes from February 16th, 2021 of our business meeting.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. This would be the time for public comment. Before we do that, I would like to announce the board met in executive session prior to this meeting to discuss personnel issues and other items, and we'll be doing so again following this meeting. Public comment is a time set aside for any items that are not on the agenda tonight. If you're here to speak to an agenda item, we'll have public input at that time. So would anybody like to address the board on an item not on the agenda tonight? Okay, seeing none. Chairman and board member comments. Board members, any comments this evening?
I just have two. Saturday night, Supervisor Zumis, Henry, and myself attended the Linglestown Awards Banquet, and I want to thank the fire company for inviting us, and congratulations to them on an awesome year. Last night, Supervisor Zumis and myself attended the Council of Government meeting over in Hampton Township. We had a speaker, Jen Karen. She was from Eckert and Siemens, and she talked about bonds, about restructuring, refinancing, existing debt, and some new beginnings. And also, we were so pleased to have somebody from Dauphin County come to our meeting. Doug Brown, who is the Deputy Director for the Economic Development. He came and he was saying that they're giving the relief for hospitality to businesses in Dauphin County and small businesses, and also he talked about the local gaming grants that are available. So there is a lot of help out there for small businesses and for restaurants that they can apply through Dauphin County. And then Gary Myers, who is the director of the COG, he talked about Bill 667, and luckily for us, this doesn't affect us, but it was talking about part-time local police officers. They're trying to pass a bill to give them full medical benefits. So your small boroughs and your very small townships, it's really going to hurt them. So it was very interesting, but luckily for us, we're in great shape. So, yep, that's it.
Any other board member wish to make a comment? Okay, seeing none, the manager's report. Mr. Gottschall.
Yes, sir. Members of the board, I only have one item this evening. The Township Parks and Recreation Board and the Shade Tree Commission will be hosting an exciting and new event this year to celebrate both Arbor and Earth Days concurrently. The public is invited to join in this unique celebration on Saturday, May 1st from 9 a.m. to noon at Brightville Park, taking in educational displays of a number of township partners, and also to partake in a park cleanup and a tree planting activity commencing at 9:30 a.m. So I welcome everyone to attend that event.
Mr. Henry, I'm sorry, I have one more thing. On Sunday, April the 25th, Lower Paxton Parks and Recreation will be having the first kite day. That will be held at Lingle Park. Unfortunately, the sewer insert it's at Autumn Oaks, so it will be held at Lingle Park, and that is from 12 to 2.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. That's the end of your report, Mr. Gottschall?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Do we expect people to show up at Autumn Oaks? Like, should we have a sign there or something? Or do
I
we,
suggest that somebody should be there, like between 11:30 and 12:15,
or a
in
sign
case
or
somebody,
Well-
or something.
We'll, I will coordinate
something? If we
the
think
appropriate
that's a real
notification and
possibility.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, thank
Because the
you.
insert just came out, when we get the bill Thursday or Friday.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Sure.
Okay. We have no items under old business. Under new business, item 9A has been removed because the applicant has decided to pursue other activities. So we now go to 9B, Resolution 2021-11, this authorizing the submission of a Pennsylvania Watershed Restoration and Protection Program grant application. Mr. Gottschall?
Yes, sir. Resolution 21-11 provides board authorization for the submission of a grant application to the Commonwealth Financing Authority's PA Watershed Restoration and Protection Program, and also designates myself as Township Manager and Mr. Judd as Township Secretary as signatories. The grant application seeking funding in the amount of $238,737 proposes to retrofit 3 existing municipally owned stormwater detention basins and swales to function as bioretention facilities, retrofitting the outdated detention facilities by modifying or replacing the outlet structures, improving the basin's soil and subsurface conditions, as well as planting native and beneficial plant species will serve to decrease the volume of stormwater runoff entering the township's storm sewer system, recharge groundwater, and increase the quality of runoff reaching the local streams and waterways. The project will help to improve the impaired condition of the Paxton Creek watershed, helping achieve the waste load allocation for sediment as prescribed in EPA's 2018 TMDL report for the Paxton Creek watershed. The project will also work towards meeting the township's Chesapeake Bay sediment load reduction requirement. The proposed detention basin retrofit project offers a cost-effective means of improving local stormwater runoff conditions while providing naturalized habitat that will attract birds, butterflies, and other beneficial insects such as pollinator species.
Oh.
Very.
Had a lot of discussion about pollinators lately. Okay. Sounds like a worthwhile undertaking.
Well, and just to put a fine point on it, these are some of the projects that we have to do to meet our stormwater mandates, and for which we had to develop a stormwater fee. So any chance we get to get outside money and grants, we're gonna go for it.
Sounds like you may wish to make a motion, Mr. Judd.
Oh, certainly, yes. I move that we approve Resolution 2111 authorizing the submission of PA Watershed Restoration and Protection Grant Program application, and also assigning signatories.
Is there a second?
Second.
Board members, any additional comments or discussion? Any public comment or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you. This will now take us to new business 9C. And once again, we need a resolution to destroy certain municipal records. Mr. Godshall, this is becoming a routine item.
Yes, sir. Our building is becoming much lighter.
Well, this is good. Especially some of our departments are now moving from index cards to digital, which is a leap of several steps at one time, all of which is very positive. So do we have a motion to proceed with the authorization of the destruction of specific records?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the resolution 21-12 in destruction of the specific records.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay. This brings us to subdivision and land development. We would begin with action on a preliminary and final subdivision plan for Janet Smith, and this is located on Parkway East. And let's see if we can get some information up on the screen here. I do not see Mrs. Zerby. Oh, there she is over there. Good evening, Mrs. Zerby.
Good
to see you.
evening.
Would you like to explain what's at play here?
I sure would. It's
Thank
the
you.
preliminary final subdivision for the Janet Yanks property.
Either pull your microphone closer or it's not on, one or the other.
It is on.
Okay.
All right. It proposes to subdivide the existing 5.54 acre lot to create two lots. The existing dwelling will be the residual lot of 1.65 acres, and the newly created lot will have a total of 3.73 acres. The site is in the agricultural residential zoning district and will be served by private sewer and private water. The plan was recommended for approval at the April 7, 2021 Planning Commission meeting. There is a request to defer the required stormwater management plan, and staff supports the deferral request until the issuance of the building permit. There are 4 waiver requests for standard waivers related to a 2-lot subdivision, such as sidewalks, curbing, street trees, and street widening. Staff supports all 4 waiver requests. There are 4 administrative comments and 2 general comments for this plan. And Bud Grove from Skelly and Loy is here to address any comments you may have.
If you could please come to the podium and offer any comments about the plan that you would like to make to get us started.
Well, I'd like to start by saying it's a very simple subdivision plan, an existing lot of 5.54, as Amanda pointed out, subdividing it into two lots. It's the last of the property owned by the Janet Smith estate, and I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
Board members, do we have any questions?
Yeah. I just had a question about the street widening.
Yes.
So, what is the width of them going to be? I know you're asking for a waiver.
Well, the width.
Is your
we're not
mic on, sir? Is the little? Okay,
Yeah,
sounds good.
It's not sounding very loud in here. Can you hear that?
Well,
back
maybe
in-
if I did this, that would help.
And pull the
Yes,
mic,
yes,
pull the
you-
mic closer to you.
You're good.
There you go.
You can remove the mask to speak, yes.
Okay, thank you. We're not proposing to widen it. The existing cartway is, I forget what it is on the plan, but it's in the vicinity of probably 20 to 24 feet wide. There's some shoulders there. The reason for the waiver is with our submittal package, we provided an exhibit that shows where this is in the township. It's in a very rural area. There's nothing else around. There's no widening around near it. So you would be, aesthetically, if that were to widen, you'd be going along an existing natural country road, and all of a sudden you'd have a cutout, for lack of a better way of expressing it, and then you would cut back to the normal. There is really no practical reason for the widening.
Okay. Amanda, what is the required width of a road?
For this plan, it was
No,
probably
in the
50.
township. In the township. What is the required width of a road in the township?
It depends. The standard width is 50.
50, okay.
That's the right-of-way width.
The right-of-way
Right.
width is
Right,
50.
right.
and there is enough right-of-way there.
Okay.
Right.
But we're talking about a driveway, right? I mean, just the driveway. We're talking about the driveway, and that doesn't have to be.
Well, it says widening of the streets.
The waiver is for the widening of the existing street.
Yeah.
The existing street meets your present-day standards for a rural road. And the widening would be to widen the shoulder even further than what it really is probably what we would have to do. And that would probably require another 4 to 6 feet of widening to get a wider shoulder. So in our position is there's no practical reason for it, there's no need for it. The road handles all the traffic that uses it sufficiently. There's no stormwater issues. So it would essentially be creating something that doesn't fit. I think we explained that in our waiver request, almost in quotes. It just does not fit in with the natural surroundings.
All right, thank you.
Any other board members have questions for the applicant or Mrs. Zerbe?
I would like to point out with me tonight is the executor of the estate, Janet Smith's daughter, Lynette Launton, and her husband, Terry.
Good. Thank you for being
And the
here.
realtor is here as well, Kevin Anderson.
Good. Thank you all for being here. Well, I'm not seeing any questions. Any public question or comment? We're not seeing any. Is there then a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the subdivision and land development as a preliminary final plan for Janet Smith Parkway East Plan number 21-04.
There is a motion on the floor to approve the
wait.
preliminary and final subdivision.
Subject to all outstanding conditions.
Excuse me?
Subject to all outstanding conditions.
Yeah, subject to all outstanding.
And
conditions.
also approving the waivers.
And also including the waivers.
And also including the waivers.
Is that everything, Mr. Smith?
That's it.
Okay. So is there a second to the motion as expanded upon?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Certainly. Let's see. We have now action to approve a declaration of consolidation of previously subdivided lots for Scott Appel, this at 6433 Moline Drive. Mrs. Zerbe again.
Yes, so this is an easy one. This is just going to take 2 lots previously subdivided through the Old Iron Estates Phase 2 plan to create 1 lot. The newly created lot will be 1.34 acres. And Bill Grove is here this evening to represent his client Scott Appel.
Okay. If you would please come to the podium, and if you have any information you'd like to add, feel free to do so.
Good evening. My name's Bill Grove, and I'm representing Scott Appel, and I'm a builder. And essentially what Amanda said is we're going to take his existing residence sits on 1 lot. He would like to construct a garage that's connected by a enclosed breezeway, if you will. He's Mass, excuse me.
Yes.
An enclosed breezeway, if you will. So he owns the adjoining lot to that, and of course it's in an existing subdivision noted as Old Iron Estates. And in order to do this, we'd like to consolidate these lots into one, understanding that henceforward that would be considered as 1 lot as he proceeds forward, so that we can construct this new garage for him and his family.
Okay. Indeed, it is sort of straightforward. Do we have any board member questions?
Just maybe our solicitor could answer one on the acknowledgement where it's notarized. Originally had typed in 2018, and it was just line through.
That's okay.
Doesn't have to be initialed or anything.
Yeah, I mean, somebody should put their initials.
Okay. Well, you may want to pay a visit to the notary just to correct that. Anything else? Okay, that being the case, is there a motion on this declaration of consolidation?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve the declaration of consolidation of previously subdivided lots for the Scott Appel property at 6433 Moline Drive. Steve, how do you want me to say, do you want me to put something in the motion about having to initial the date that is incorrect? Okay, okay, all right.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Do we include all the items in the motion that were necessary, Mr. Stein? Okay. Is there a second then to that motion?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
There you go.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Board.
sir.
Appreciate your consideration and approval.
Thank you. You have a great evening. Okay, action on the final subdivision plan for Phase 9C of Stray Winds Farms. You have a lot of work this evening, Mrs. Zerby.
I do. This is the last subdivision for Stray Winds Farm. It's the final plan for Phase 9C. It involves a total tract of 10.81 acres to be developed in accordance with the preliminary plan. 9C will contain a total of 14 lots, 13 single-family dwelling units, and 1 open space lot. The site is in the residential cluster district and will be served by public sewer and water. No waivers have been requested for this plan. The plan was recommended for approval at the April 7, 2021 Planning Commission meeting. The plan comes before you this evening with 4 administrative comments and 4 general comments. And Mr. Matt Fisher is here this evening to answer any questions you may have on this plan.
Good evening, Mr. Fisher.
Good evening. Matt Fisher with RJ Fish & Associates, here to present Phase 9C for Stray Wind Farms for Triple Crown Corporation. This is the last phase of Stray Winds that will be before you, so a little bit sentimental day today. It's been a number of years we've been up here doing this. So Amanda said it pretty good, 14 lots, 13 single-family dwellings. We're in receipt of the comments from Lower Paxton Township Authority, Traffic Safety Unit, Dauphin County Planning, as well as HRG, and we don't have any issues addressing any of those comments in those letters. So with that, I'd open up to any specific questions you may have.
Supervisors, any questions?
No waivers.
No.
Nope. No, any waivers would have been with the preliminary plan. So no additional waivers.
And that's the side where half is in Susquehanna and half's in Lower Paxton?
No, this is actually the very last section of the estate lots.
Oh,
the larger
okay.
ones, kind of all the way in the southeast corner.
Okay.
Okay. Let's say any public, Bill, unless you have a public comment, you're the public remaining. Okay, we have apparently no questions. Would somebody like to put a motion on the floor then?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the final subdivision plan for Stray Winds Farms, Phase C, plan number 21-3,
Subject to outstanding conditions.
subject to outstanding conditions.
Okay. So moved. Is there a second?
Second?
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
All right,
There
thank
you
you
go.
very much.
Easy night tonight.
Yep.
Mrs. Irby, thank you. Everything was, all the ducks were in a row. Appreciate it. Okay, I guess that now takes us to improvement guarantees, and of which there are a number. Do we have any questions about any of the improvement guarantees? Eden Creek, Huntley, Cider Press Road. It's milled there. Mrs. Lindsay, does the Cider Press Road,
No, that has nothing.
that has nothing to, okay.
No.
So I gather nobody has any conflicts with any of the proposed improvement guarantee is to be approved, so is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve the improvement guarantees. There are 7 of them: Maiden Creek, Alden Ridge, Huntley, 6210 Cider Press Road, 2251 Crumbs Mill Road, Devon Woods, and Autumn Oaks Phase 1.
So moved. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. That will take us to the payment of bills for Lower Paxton Township and the Lower Paxton Township Authority. Mr. Treasurer.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the payment of the bills for Lower Paxton Township and Lower Paxton Township Authority.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Board members, Mr. Manager, do we have any additional announcements? Have we covered everything?
Just a reminder, next week we have Sewer Authority at 7 o'clock on Tuesday in this room.
Anybody else? And this Board of Supervisors will hold its next meeting on Tuesday, May 4th, 2 weeks from tonight, at 7 p.m. here in this room. That will be a business meeting. Seeing no further items on the agenda, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved. Is there a second? Second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.